Hello friends, my name is Ramasu. Today we shall discuss about topic that what is sprint review meeting. Friend, today's topic is very interesting, especially if you have interest in project management in Scrum and Agile and you want to learn about it. So let's start, friend. First of all, I request to please subscribe to my YouTube channel and click on the bell option as well, so that my videos can reach to you, and also you can follow me on the Facebook page as well. Friend, if you see, there are two terms: sprint review. Sprint review is basically a key event in the Scrum framework, in which basically the Scrum team is basically showcasing their work which has been completed, so that they can get the feedback from the customer and the other stakeholder. So it's a very important event in the Scrum framework. Normally this sprint review meeting occurred at the end of the sprint and serves to inspect and adopt the product increment created during that sprint. Okay, for example, let me give you an example here. For example, as per the product backlog, there are 40 tasks which needs to be completed for the product. Okay, and you have taken 10 tasks for the particular sprint. Okay, so when those 10 tasks have been developed, tested and completed, so then you will showcase the increment of the product, like you are giving the demo to the customer, and that what tasks have been completed and gets his feedback. Okay, so this is basically a review meeting of the work which has been completed during that sprint. Sprint is simply a 3 to 4 weeks time period in which the Scrum team develop, test and deploy the task. Now the key aspects of the sprint review meetings are: first one is if we talk about purpose, the purpose of first thing is the inspection of the work which has been developed during the 3 to 4 weeks time period, or you can say the sprint. Okay, so this is the first thing. Then gather feedback. This is the second purpose. That means you are getting the feedback from customer, from stakeholders, from management, that okay, this module has been developed in this sprint. Okay, and now what is your feedback? Are you satisfied with the changes or improvements or enhancements, or whether you are not satisfied? So next one is the adopt the product backlog. Product backlog is basically a complete set of requirements for the product, and the product owner is basically the main person who is responsible to maintain the product backlog. After the sprint review meetings, if there are any changes in the priorities or requirements or enhancements are required, so the product backlog could be updated by the product owner in this case as well. If we talk about the participants for the sprint review meeting, participants are the product owner, Scrum master and the Scrum development team. Development team means like the programmers, the testers, the deployment team, the coders, etc. So the Scrum development team, Scrum master and the product owner is the main role persons, main team from the team. Now next is the stakeholders means like especially the product, the customer, the users, management and other relevant parties, if there is any third party involvement is there. So any person who has interest, especially customer is the most important person, who has the person who is developing, who is basically having the greatest interest in the product. So these are the two types of participants required in this sprint review meeting. If we talk about frequency, normally it happens at the end of every sprint. So we know normally the sprint duration is of 3 to 4 weeks. So you can say at end of every month, generally at every end of every month, this meeting could be held in 1 month. Duration for this meeting is basically the time box for a sprint is about 4 hours for in a 1 month. For shorter sprints, the time may be shorter as well. Format of this meeting is like: first one is the demo of the increments. For example, you have developed a new module in the product, so you will give a demo to the stakeholders, to the customer, in which you actually run the product in front of the customer, in front of the stakeholders, and also they can also check the they can also check the demo of the product. They can check the functionality, actual working functionality of the module. Okay, and after that they will give a feedback and discussion about the demo and the developed functionality. Maybe whatever their feedback, okay, so they will give about it. And also it's a open door, you can say open communication and transparent communication. And they will give their feedback about the newly developed module. Then a review of the product backlog. The product owner may review the current state of the product backlog and discuss if there is any adjustment required or made based on the feedback received during this sprint review meeting. And okay, so once they review, they get the demo of the new module, they give their feedback, and based on the feedback the product owner may update the product backlog. Inspect the increment. So that means the team and stakeholder evaluate the increment against the sprint goal to determine whether it meets the criteria for acceptance or not. So that means the based on the feedback from the customer, either they will approve, they will agree, accept the newly developed module, or maybe they are not agreeing or they are not accepting the newly developed module. Here the product owner role is very important, friend, because they are responsible for ensuring that the increment meets the acceptance criteria and for incorporating product stakeholder feedback into the product backlog. Okay, so his role is very important. Here one more important thing here, that the increment the newly developed module either done or either not done. Okay, so that means based on the feedback from the customer, either you will accept that okay, this module has been done, this increment is done, or either it's not done. So there is no partial thing is there. Okay, there is no concept of a partial in the sprint review, either done or either not done. Here remember one thing, friend, that the sprint review meeting is not a status meeting. A status meeting that you are not only just giving the status that which tasks are completed, which are not completed. It's not a status meeting. Also it is not a planning meeting as well. Planning meeting means that it is not the things in which you are discussing the product backlog and getting the feedback and doing the planning and estimation, capacity planning. It is not a planning meeting. Also it's not a design discussion, means that design discussion should ideally happen during the backlog refinement or sprint planning. The sprint review focus on the working in increment, so it's not a design discussion. Okay, sprint review. So sprint review is a crucial feedback in the Scrum and allows stakeholders to see the progress, get the demo of the newly developed module, and give their feedback, and if there is any correction required they can mention as well. It also ensures that the product is continually refined based on the feedback and evolving requirement as well. So friend, thanks a lot for watching the video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please share it with the friends and colleagues, and thanks a lot for watching the video.